Katie. Welcome back to our channel. Today I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about 9 must-do things before you leave for your cruise. So this is in the week or days leading up to you leaving for your cruise. And the first item is that I highly recommend calling your bank or credit card company to notify them of your travel plans, including all of the ports of call where you might be using either a credit card or a debit card to buy meals or souvenirs to bring back home. You don't want those charges to be declined. And so notifying your bank and credit card companies of your travel destinations is a really important step. The second important must-do is to either print out or have an electronic picture of the contact information for your travel insurance. We do always encourage the use of travel insurance because you just don't know what could happen. And if something were to happen, either on your way to the cruise or even mid-cruise where you needed to get in touch with the travel insurance folks, it's important to have that contact information handy. Number 3 is to pack your prescription medications in your carry-on bag. Again, this is so that when you get to the cruise ship, if your checked bag, if something happens and it's delayed in getting to you, you'll have all those necessary medications with you. So highly recommend this as well. The next must-do is to print out your cruise luggage tags for any of your luggage that you plan to check at the cruise terminal. This is the bags that you won't carry on with you but will be delivered to your stateroom sometime, generally after departure. So you want to print out those luggage tags so you have them, but I do recommend just packing those in your carry-on bag, and then if you're flying to the departure city, then you would attach that luggage tag to your checked bags after you arrive there. I don't like to do it beforehand because sometimes they can get ripped off during air transit, so I recommend just having those in your carry-on bag that you're ready to put them on once you arrive at the cruise terminal. The next must-do is to either print out your cruise boarding documents, or what we prefer to do is to make sure we've downloaded the Cruise Lines app on our mobile phones, and you can usually access your boarding documents there. There's a QR code that they scan that allows you to get on the ship. So you want to make sure you either have a printed copy or you have the electronic copy via the Cruise Lines app. The next must-do is to pack your passport and identification in your carry-on. And I have a little story to tell about this. This is many years ago. I was flying to the Caribbean, not for a cruise, but for a land vacation. And we flew first to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And there was a newlywed couple who were headed to Aruba on their vacation, but the wife had forgotten her passport, and the airline was not allowing them to fly to Aruba. And I just felt so bad for that couple. She was in tears, and I think eventually they were having someone kind of overnight it to them, so they were going to have to just delay their honeymoon by a day. But that was such an impactful event for me that is one of my must-dos. I make sure I have my passport in my carry-on so that it will not delay me departing for my cruise. The next must-do is I like to pack at least 1 or 2 outfits in my carry-on. And again, this is because if I have all my clothes packed in my checked bag, the bag that I'm checking at the cruise terminal, sometimes those bags don't get to you until later in the evening. And so I want to have just a quick, dress or a nicer outfit to throw on for dinner that night, and maybe even an outfit for the next morning. Now, we've never not gotten our bag, but to me this is just kind of a little extra insurance to have a couple of outfits in your checked bag. The next must-do that we recommend is to have your mail held. This is super easy to do. You just go onto USPS, the US Postal Service's website. You can enter your address and request to hold your mail. So for us, we didn't have anyone stopping by to grab our mail for us, so we just held our mail for the dates that we were going to be on our cruise, and that was all delivered after we were back from our cruise. So it took a minute to process that hold, and was definitely worth it for us. The last must-do that I'm going to talk about is emergency contact info. So my parents are older, and so I just like to make sure that my family and close friends have the ship's emergency contact information should we need to be contacted mid-cruise. Now you can contact your cruise line to get this information. You can even Google it. I know for our last cruise on Celebrity, they had one main contact information, emergency contact number, and it's important that you give that number to your friends and family along with your cabin number, because that is how the cruise line will be able to reach you. So I hope these tips were helpful. If you have other must-do items right before you leave for a cruise, we'd love to learn from you. If you could put those in the comments below. And until next time, happy cruising.